he was just like, what? Like, he didn't feel like he was gonna die, you know what I mean? And he's also an intuitive person. He was kind of just like, maybe you're just tired, maybe you're just stressed. So he didn't know what to tell me, and I didn't know what to tell myself.
So him and my mom are over there in Queens living their best lives, and I'm over here in Brooklyn suffering.
What up, y'all? What up? It's your girl Sakinah Iman, and today we are going to unpack how I knew that my stepdad was going to pass before he passed. And this was a few days before he passed. He's the one that I spoke about in the first video on this channel, so you can check that out if you like. This was a almost traumatizing experience because Matt was the type of guy who everyone thought was gonna live forever. I mean, he was super energetic, healthy, vibrant, always was like the life of the party. Anywhere he went into a room, you knew he was there, outgoing. He was like a comedian to everyone. Everyone loved this guy. Everyone knew that he was gonna live a long, prosperous life. So if you can just think of the dude in your life or in your family that everyone thinks is going to outlive everyone because he's just that dynamic, right? And that boisterous and energetic. He just really had a larger than life quality to him, and there were no signs of him being sick or ill at all. So no one knew that he was going to pass, including myself. But there was a series of days where something happened to me and I didn't know what it meant, but I can tell you what it did feel like. So one day I woke up and I was terrified because for some reason my heart and my soul was telling me, oh my God, I feel like my husband's gonna die. I didn't know why. And at the time I wasn't seeing anyone, but my ex and I had previously broke up. I'm not gonna say his name for anonymity reasons. So let's just call him Tony. Me and Tony were still great friends. We're still great friends to this day. We talked often. So in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I'm having the feeling like my husband is gonna die. He's probably the closest thing to my husband. I'm trying to decipher this message. And the only way I can decipher it is the person that feels like this in my life that's the closest to this thing is Tony, right? So I call up Tony in this frantic mess and I'm crying and I'm like, Tony, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I feel like this, but I was like, something's telling me that my husband's gonna die, and I don't know why it's telling me that, but like, you're the closest thing to a husband that I have, I guess. And I don't know what's telling me that, but I was like, please just stay in the house, please don't go anywhere, please. I was like, it's telling me that it's gonna happen suddenly. I don't know if it's gonna be a car accident or what. Just be careful. If you leave the house, please be careful. Watch the streets, do everything safely. I'd rather you just stay inside. I was frantic. And he was like, wait, whoa. He's like, are you okay? Calm down. And he knew that I was a very intuitive person. However, he wasn't sure what was going on with me at all. He was just like, he was concerned. He was like, do you want to talk to somebody? I could tell that he wasn't convinced. He was just like, your husband's gonna die. Like, he was just like, what? Like, he didn't feel like he was gonna die, you know what I mean? And he's also an intuitive person, so he was kind of just like, maybe you're just tired, maybe you're just stressed. So he didn't know what to tell me, and I didn't know what to tell myself. So the next day I felt mad grief. It was a process. The first day I felt frantic, like he was going to die. The second day I felt this huge amount of grief. It was like I lost the most important thing to me and nothing else mattered. I've never felt like that in my entire life. The closest thing that felt like that was my Aunt Doreen passing, but this passing happened first. So at that point in my life, I had never felt such a huge loss. When I tell you, the feeling was so palpable. I could taste it, I could feel it. I was on the bed, I was depressed, I couldn't go to work, I couldn't leave the room. I was crying all day. I felt done. I felt disgusted. I felt like, how could you, God? I felt like, why me? I felt like, why is this happening? I felt like, what is life right now? I couldn't put my finger on that level of grief. It was overwhelming, an overwhelming amount of grief. Depression like no other. And I'm not someone who's ever experienced like a heightened level of depression. I can't say that I've been that low. I was almost, I don't want to say the S word, but I was just very close to it. you know, because that's a serious feeling. And I felt like my husband had passed and there was nothing else to live for. And I can't explain it to you. So then the following day, after the grief, after crying, I just felt like a sensation of numbness. I felt nothing. I felt empty. Oh, that was hard. That was hard. That was hard. And I couldn't explain it to anybody. I couldn't tell anybody, oh my God, like I feel like my husband died. Because they're like, what, Sakinah? Like, you don't even have a husband. You don't even got a man. Like, get a man first. Then you can feel grief about a husband. Like, it was crazy.
And mind you, I'm feeling all of this while Matt is still alive and well and healthy, and everyone has no idea that anything is going to happen, including myself. So him and my mom are over there in Queens living their best lives, and I'm over here in Brooklyn suffering because I can't shake the feeling that my husband's gonna die. And I have no idea what this means. And I couldn't go back to Tony because he said that I was scaring him. And rightfully so. I mean, if your psychic ex called you and told you that they thought you were gonna die in a few days, I'm sure you'd be scared shitless too. So, sorry about that, Tony. I didn't want to scare the poor guy, and I had no one at the time to go to with this information, so that made me feel even more isolated. They were together for 25 plus years, and everyone thought there'd be 25 plus more. And a part of me will always wonder, if I knew how to read my gifts, could I have possibly prevented this? Could I have told them, Matt needs to be in a hospital right now. Something's going to happen. Had I connected the dots before it was too late.
So then the following day, I'm at work now. I don't feel these states of beings anymore. I don't feel that anymore. It's like it washed over me, and I was like, I don't know what that was. I was like, what the hell was that? I'm at work. I get a phone call from someone in my family saying, Kina, Matt was rushed to the hospital. He was rushed to the hospital. I dropped my phone because it started to connect to me. I was like, I hope this is not what I was experiencing. I hope this is not it. I hope this is not it. I hope this is not it. And it turned out that that was what it was. And somebody had told me, someone else who I told the story to, who's also intuitive, spiritual, she had told me that I was experiencing my mom's grief and my mom's feelings during that time. Like I took on my mom's spiritual emotions before they happened. And after he passed, I kid you not, I was with my mom, and she had the same looks on her face. She had the same energy, the same emotion that I was feeling. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. It was crazy. But I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. Like I'm thinking, like, if I feel like my husband's gonna pass in a few days, I don't know why I wouldn't connect it to someone else who has a husband. You know what I mean? Like maybe because at that time I didn't live with my mom, so I assumed like it couldn't have been her. Like I'm not living with them. I just wouldn't assume that anybody's husband, I'm feeling that energy. So yeah, I don't know. Wow, that was a heavy one and a hard one to. Taking on those emotions and that spirit, it was almost like, oh, it was heavy. It was heavy as hell. And I hope that I don't experience anything like that again. And well, if I do experience something like that again, I hope that it is from a place of I can tell someone before something happens so that they're prepared, you know what I mean? And that I have more clarity on who that is about. Whew, yeah. So that is the story of how I technically knew that he was gonna pass. I just didn't know it was him. I got some message, I just didn't know who it was directed towards. Thank you for watching, and in the next video, stay tuned because I'm going to tell the story of how I accidentally manifested a car accident. Yeah, I accidentally manifested a specific amount of money and a car accident because I was doing repetitive ritualistic energy. I was doing certain things during my meditation that I probably should not have combined with the meditation because I definitely attracted that money, that car accident, specifically by the movement that I was doing during my meditation. I decided to dance during my meditation to see what would happen, and that didn't work out. That didn't work out, but stay tuned for the next video and you'll see why. All right, thank you so much again for watching, y'all. I really appreciate you sharing this spiritual journey with me. I'm gonna have more messages from the other side, more dreams, and more supernatural experiences. It's your girl Sakinah Iman, and I'm out. Peace.